The next competency is professional skills and organizational management. This is a competency that one would need to master in any field of work if they're committed to their professional development, in my opinion. This competency means to me that a student affairs professional should possess the skills required to perform their work efficiently, such as planning, prioritizing, time management, communicating, and problem solving, and so on. This competency means that each individual is a skillful unit that is indispensable in order for the entire organization to function smoothly. Another part of this competency is related to one's consciousness of the structures of the organizations they work for, their own working style, as well as others' working style in order to collaborate better with the coworkers. The student affairs professionals do not work in a single dimension environment. It is crucial for the professionals to understand that there are so many aspects in this field that are interconnected in order for students to achieve their goals successfully. Whether directly or indirectly, each of the aspects affect students we help significantly. Systems theory and system thinking help student affairs professionals think about their jobs as if the whole organization is knitting a blanket. Each knit serves its purpose and has to connect with other knits in order to stay balanced and functional. The organization would lose its balance and fall into chaos without connecting with every member within. Students will benefit greatly from their institution if all student affairs professionals take on their individual responsibilities and functions collectively. In my organization and administration course, I learned about various organizational theories such as scientific management theory and neoclassical theory. These theories help me understand how organizations can be people-oriented or objective-oriented. One of the student affairs organizational models I really liked was the academic student affairs collaboration model because it focuses mainly on bringing the academic side of students' life into student affairs. I believe as a student, the most important part of one's success comes from their academic achievements. So, academic and student affairs professionals can promote students' success by working collaboratively on helping students thrive in their field of study. I think this model can also promote social justice by unifying social justice standards on students' academic and social life. The student affairs staff can use these professional resources to help academic affairs staff create a universal design of learning for all students with different backgrounds. In my assignment titled Institutional and Organizational Vision, Mission, and Values Analysis, I compared Reed College and Portland State University in Portland, Oregon. According to the Carnegie classification system, Reed College is a liberal arts college, while Portland State University is a research university. This assignment provided me with an opportunity to distinguish the characteristics between a liberal arts college and a large research university. I learned that the relationship students had with faculty or staff often stayed on the professional level at Portland State University, whereas it would be more personal at Reed College because of the size of the institutions and the different objectives they hold. In the organization and administration course, I also developed my personal leadership philosophy where I explained my approach to being a leader in student affairs profession, which is based on the transformational model suggested by NASBA that links the group and the individual qualities of effective leadership with a focus on collaboration, commitment, and shared purpose. Also in this course, I was able to compare my leadership approach to others by conducting an interview with Dr. Jeremy Kofler at the University of Portland, who believes in a relational approach when it comes to leadership. Relational leadership model includes 5 components: purpose, inclusive, empowering, ethical, and process. With purpose being in the center of this model, I find it similar to the transformative leadership model that I believe in. Both models focus on the process of having people work towards a shared goal, as well as developing leaders within the group. I see myself adopting the framework of the knowing, being, doing framework of leadership to help make positive changes to the organization effectively and efficiently. Even though I have not been in a leadership position in my career, I have gained much knowledge in the organization and administration course, as well as from observing leaders in the organizations that I worked for. Throughout the CSSA program, I have worked on many group projects where I took on the leader role in groups to initiate conversations and bring everyone together. I led meetings and asked for group members' inputs about their approaches on the projects. For example, in my legal issues class, I had a term-long group project with a classmate to present a case to the rest of our classmates. The project included a written case brief and a presentation. I reached out to my partner early in the term to set up periodic meetings and talk about progress of our project. I created shared documents for an outline of the projects, as well as the case brief and presentation. I initiated a weekly task system where we needed to complete a small task every week to ensure that we were on track and wouldn't get overwhelmed by the workload at the end of the term. In my student care case management internship, I also had the opportunity to lead a bi-weekly team discussion on current topics in higher education. The one I led focused on racism and racial injustices. Before the meeting, I shared with the group a few TED Talk videos as well as an article on Inside Higher Ed related to the word race and racism. During the meeting, I asked open-ended questions such as, what do you think about this video, or what stuck with you in this article? At the end of the meeting, I made sure to bring it back to how we can better prepare ourselves as student affairs professionals and serve our students according to the new information we received from these videos and articles. As a student care case manager, I also had many initial student care meetings with students where I facilitated meetings and assisted students with problem solve. For example, I met with a student whose grandmother passed away due to COVID-19, and the student was having difficulty contacting faculty members for extensions on assignments. The student was also worried about not being able to finish their courses for that term. I first made sure to express my empathy to the student and provided some time and space for them to express themselves. Then I reminded the student that I was there to support them with whatever they need. I listed possible options such as letting the faculty know that they were trying to work with student care to find a solution, so please allow them some extra time for extensions. I also suggested the student to be specific on how much time they needed for the extension, which would be helpful for instructors to determine whether they would be okay with that extension. After the meeting, I sent the student a follow-up email with a recap of the meeting as well as additional resources that would be helpful, such as deadlines for different grading bases. From experiences like this, I became more and more familiar with the functions of different offices and departments on campus, and I realized the importance of knowing all the different resources students would benefit from. I also feel that I have improved my problem-solving skills, especially being able to come up with different options for students to choose from in a very short amount of time. In addition, I think it's crucial for student affairs professionals to know that they will never have all the answers, and it's okay to consult with colleagues and get answers from who specializes in a certain field in order to serve students better. During my career services internship at Paradise Valley Community College, I communicated frequently with my supervisor and students regarding students' mock interviews and resumes they submitted via the school website for feedback. I provided students with detailed and concrete suggestions to assist them in successfully securing a job specifically in the field of healthcare. I have also had experiences communicating externally during my student care internship because we sometimes would get referrals that are family members or professionals from other organizations. I made sure to follow FERPA regulations but communicate what I was able to disclose to external referrals in a respectful manner. I also made sure to offer consultation meetings to further help them understand why we would only be able to provide limited information. In my organization and administration course, counseling skills course, as well as programs and functions course, I interviewed student affairs professionals from various types of higher education institutions, including private colleges, large land-grant universities, and other community colleges, about their experience in the field. The COVID-19 pandemic has certainly been one of the most influential factors impacting our work as student affairs professionals. Besides the pandemic, many other tragic events and disasters also happened and continue to happen. So I think student affairs professionals should think about how students are holding up under enormous pressure on a daily basis. Everyone is impacted by these events one way or another. More students are experiencing financial difficulties. Some of them also need to take time off and be with their family, but at the same time, they worry about their assignments and grades. As a result, they're thinking about dropping out of college to relieve some of the pressure. They're not willing to seek financial aid because they're scared to not be able to pay it back. I think it's important for student affairs professionals to figure out how to help individual students navigate through their never-before experienced unique situations case by case. In the Budget and Finance course, my topical article summary assignment furthered my knowledge on the impact of budget to higher education institutions during this unique period of COVID-19 pandemic. The budget impacts higher education institutions' ability to provide protection for students, faculty, staff, and community members against the COVID-19. Families have less disposable income to support their children to go to college due to unemployment, less consumer spending, and business closures. In addition, the enrollment of international students has declined due to travel restrictions or other factors. Therefore, colleges are not making as much revenue as before. In this budget course, I also had the chance to learn about the importance of having a budget model. A budget model helps the institution determine if they're financially secure. It provides a transparent overview on finances to all the members in this institution. Having a budget model also helps the institution prepare for any unforeseen events and consequences, such as COVID-19. Through my final project, Budget Memo, I practiced how to balance a budget, determine which staff members get raises, adjust salaries based on salary increases. I learned about how student fees are an important asset to student life on campus. From this project, I feel the difficulty to determine who gets a salary increase based on the information I have. It's also challenging to recognize my own implicit bias that played a part in my decision making.